Welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out a video from Johnny Harris called How the US Ruined Bread. And I can only imagine the ways we have messed it up.
Yeah, I already know some of the ways we've messed it up. When you compare the bread you buy, that's like the Nature's Own and the Wonder Bread and all those name brand breads that you'll find in the vast majority of our supermarkets here in the U.S., they are nothing like
An actual loaf of bread.
An actual loaf of bread you'll get made that's homemade or from a local farmer or from a farmer's market. And so I must say, I don't know all the ways that the U.S. has ruined bread, but in my opinion, based off of the differences we've seen between fresh made bread and the stuff you buy at the store, the U.S. probably has ruined bread in a number of different ways.
I love bread.
There is so much good bread in France.
And although
I believe
man does
it.
not live by bread alone, without it the meal seems
That is something I think of
On
synonymous
every
with
corner,
France.
there is
Yeah, it is.
a bakery that is pumping out delicious, fresh, well-made bread.
It's so fresh.
This is not easily available to me, and I want to know why.
I agree,
Why is it that
actually.
the bread that I can get easily looks very, very different? Why is it that the U.S. sucks at making bread? In fact, let me just show you what that looks like.
Okay, wait, it's 12
Wonder
hours
bread.
earlier, still back in the US. I'm actually at a grocery store right now.
Yeah.
Nature's Own,
This is how a
Sunbeam.
lot of us Americans get our bread.
A whole aisle.
Sigh. My favorite
that.
part is when they make this plastic look like it's steaming.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like foggy plastic. To be like, this was just baked right now. And it's like, no, this was actually baked like 3 weeks ago in a factory in like Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's even made with real butter.
Real butter.
Wonder bread. You'll be glad you did.
The reason I'm purchasing this bread is because I want to bring it with me to France.
Oh my
Just, like, have an
gosh.
example lesson, and I may use
That's
it as a pillow because
hilarious.
it's literally as soft as a Nova foam pillow. Some of this bagged bread is made with ingredients that are literally illegal in the EU. Back to France, let's do it.
It's not.
Once you've
Good
had
bread.
real bread,
Yeah.
it's hard to...
Yeah, and like you said, it really is like a pillow. It is so soft, it's
I'll give
ridiculous.
it that. It's very soft.
Yeah, I mean, you could just fall asleep on that.
I love how he's got it tied to the outside of his backpack.
Yeah. You know, there's something about, I like bread that has a little bit of, some,
Crunchiness on
not
the outside.
crunchy, but,
I like,
on the outside,
like if it's the round or the baguette,
Yeah.
then yeah.
But it's like when you pull with your teeth, you gotta
Chew.
bite it.
It's
You gotta
gotta chew.
pull it. You just gotta
Yeah.
chew to it. But this stuff is like you put it in your mouth and it just like dissolves. It's like powder almost like.
It is very, very soft.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible, to be honest. Like, I grew up eating, not necessarily Wonder Bread, but
Bunny
bread similar.
bread.
Bunny Bread was one, Sunbeam. There's Nature's Own. Nature's Own is a little bit better, I suppose, than some of these, maybe.
Well, maybe they don't have high fructose corn syrup. I don't.
Yeah,
think,
but definitely not like great bread.
There's nothing more American than Wonder Bread.
Oh my gosh, is that the problem?
It probably is.
I'm going to France.
I love it.
I do too.
In case you're wondering, yes, any video from Paris must include music like this. Nice, gentle cafe accordion music. There's my composer Tom making it right now.
It's pretty cool.
It's just so good. Okay, so yeah, we know that France is good at bread and the US sucks at it. Is this just another video where I shit on the USA for being terrible at certain things? Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. But hear me out. I actually have something to say here. I believe that bread is a really important symbol for a bigger cultural phenomenon in the US, and that's what I want to talk about today.
I believe I could say the same thing. I think it's like a symbol of, if you have bad quality bread, it's a symbol of having larger
Everything else, it, like,
problem
ripples out.
when it comes
Yeah.
to food in this category. Like it,
Because bread is one of those essential items.
Yeah.
Bread, milk, eggs.
yeah.
those things.
If you don't have easy access to high quality of those few basic items, that says something about your overall food supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that rings true when it comes to the U.S. Unfortunately.
Where industrialized bread came from, why it exists, and how some people are trying to change it. I'll get to that explanation, but first I'm gonna go into that bakery over there and buy myself a large ball of butter and flour stuffed with chocolate. Oh, and
Stuffed with
Tom, can you throw in
chocolate.
a beat to this accordion music, please?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that?
That looks really good.
Oh,
I can smell it.
oh my goodness. Your bread looks so good, by the way.
Why bread? There's a million other things I could talk about that are better in other parts of the world, but it turns out that bread is the most important prepared food that humans have ever made, and therefore it is worth talking about. So let me explain in under a minute the overview of the tens of thousands of years of history of bread and its chemistry and why it's so important. Don't think I can do it in under a minute? Check this out. 12,000 years ago, humans realized that they could plant this grass instead of just foraging for it. This grass was called wheat, and when it was ground up with a stone, it made this powder that, if you put water with it, creates this stretchy, goopy thing that has a bunch of sugar from the flour that's been released. Oh, look. Wow. All the bacteria in the air love this sugary goop. Nice. And they descend to feast on it, burping out gas as they eat. Whoa, the gas can't float up into the air because it's getting trapped in this stretchy ball of goop, like a balloon, like a pillow, like magic. Magic. All this feasting and burping is making it rise and turn into a pillowy thing that is way bigger than it was. Put this blob next to some fire, and all of the little bubbles that were just created turn hard.
Oh, that looks
all this
good.
can happen because of this one grass? Yes. Cool, let's plant a lot more of this grass and build all of human civilization off of it.
Wow.
Said humans. So that is bread, like the oldest and most important prepared food item that humans have ever invented. Eventually, humans got really good at doing this bread, flour, water, yeast thing, and especially here in France, they took it really seriously and have created a whole culture around making bread delicious and amazing. And you can see that they've continued that culture today just by the number of bakeries that exist in this city. There
I
are
bet.
30,000 independent bakeries
Holy.
in France. Compare that to the 3,000 that are in the United States.
Oh
That
my
is
goodness.
Insane.
Okay, and I don't know the population of France,
I
but
don't either, but the landmass itself is much
but compare
smaller.
that to the population of the U.S., which
Yeah.
is much larger, and we have, I mean, like so many less. Like that's incredible. Like,
Wow.
and I think that's true because
That's mind-blowing.
honestly, I don't even know the last time I've been inside of an actual what you call a homemade bakery or a mom and pop
homemade
bakery,
bakery,
a mom and pop bakery.
Yeah.
Like, when's the last time you've been in an actual mom and pop
And
bakery?
usually here, if there are those, at least in the ones I've been in, it's more like sweet stuff like donuts and
Yeah,
pastries. And
right.
which I'm sure in France you have that as well, but wow.
But I don't think this is just France. I think this is something France
Yeah.
might be big at it, but I think this
Yeah.
is going to be something you see all over Europe
yeah.
in general. So that's incredible. That number says something to me.
Wow.
And then remember that the US has like a much larger population.
Yeah.
And if you do all the math, you see that France has 50 times more bakeries per capita than the United States. 50 times. I mean, that is such a clear
That's
indication of how much
crazy.
they value good bread that is baked a certain way.
Here with Mr. Local over here. Yeah. Local French food in France.
What's his name?
94% of Parisians live less than 5 minutes away from a bakery.
That's crazy.
I would love
Nathaniel.
that.
It shows you they care. They care. It's like you hear stuff like that and you're like,
I'm jealous.
this is their priority.
Yeah, yeah.
And the culture of eating is just as much important here as how like,
man.
the ingredients are sourced. And
That was
prepared and
another
whatnot.
thing we just learned.
People don't eat while rushing towards their next meeting or whatever. Like it's very much, no, you sit down, you make it a thing. It's just a part of the way of life here.
Yeah.
People come into the boulangeries almost on a daily basis and they check in with each other. It's like, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm doing great. This is what's happening.
Why? That is the question. Why are these bread cultures so different? And the answer comes down to what America was founded on. I mean, a reminder that America is a country founded by a bunch of people who left their country to go make a new life, to do things differently, to do things more individualistically. And the way that expressed itself for a really long time was mechanization, industrialization. And to be clear, in the history, Britain was as much to blame for all of this mechanizing of bread as America was.
That's insulting.
But anyway, we're talking about the USA for a little bit. So by the 1920s, you had this machine that was invented, an automatic bread slicer. Hello, convenience, innovation, America. No more serrated knife versus a tough, crusty loaf. Now the machine will do it for you. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Oh, so that's where we're at. This is the greatest thing, says America. And Europe was like, wait, yeah, we like machines too, but like not for bread. Slice this bread and you make your bread spoil faster. We don't need a machine for sliced bread. But the automatic slicer was just the beginning for America.
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
Now that we have sliced bread that, yes, spoils faster, let's make it, I don't know, not spoil as fast. One way to do this is to take the part of the wheat berry that has oils in it, the husk and the bran, and get rid of it. Focus on the big, carb-loaded berry in the middle. But there had to be a more industrial solution to make the bread last longer, to be whiter, to be softer. And it's the 1950s, and Europe is like, whoa, dude, America, chill out.
I love this guy.
You know, I must say, like, I personally, I've never liked the soft bread. I don't really understand the love for it.
I like not super soft.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the Wonder Bread. I don't
the
like
really
that.
Squishy.
Yeah, it's just like you can literally take a piece of bread and just in one hand just ball it up into a tight little snowball and just like toss it. And it's like a little rock once it's balled up, but it's like so much air in it. It's just like. Yeah, I am not a fan of that.
I do like the chew.
I love the chew. That is different. The softness of a homemade loaf of bread.
Crust.
Yes, it's so different. You know what I'm talking about. The softness versus the extreme softness. You know what I mean?
Bread is just bread. We've been doing this for literally tens of thousands of years. Let's just like stick to the program. And America's like, no. So America starts adding all of this stuff to their bread, bleaches and dough conditioners. And suddenly they're putting their bread into controlled chambers so that it will be hot enough to rise faster. And they're putting preservatives in so that their bread can now sit on a shelf for not just 1 or 2 days like it should.
I love the Breaking Bad
4 days, 5 days, 6 days, a whole week, and it's still soft. It is still white. It is still spongy and delicious.
Disgusting.
So true. It's so true.
It's disgusting.
Instead of 3. And it's cheap and convenient and stable, and America is loving this, and Europe is like, whoa. You took this way too far. This is not bread anymore. And indeed, I would argue that this is not bread anymore. This is a bread-like substance. It's a different product made from a different process, and yet we use the same word for it. If you want to know more about what's inside of this kind of bread, I was actually here making this video when I stumbled upon a video from one of my favorite YouTubers, Adam Ragusia, that's like a deep dive into all of the ingredients in this kind of industrial bread. Definitely go check it out. Some bread in the US has taken it so far that they will put in additives that keep it spongy and soft, or that keep it really white, even though these additives are known to like cause cancer and inflame asthma and do all of these terrible things. Many of these additives that are legal to be put in American bread are literally illegal in Europe and many other countries. Azodicarbonamide is one of them. This is a whitening agent. But you know what? This product, ADA, also helps other things stay softer, like yoga mats. ADA is in yoga mats to make them spongy and soft. And it is banned in the EU and many other countries.
So why not here?
Our obsession with convenience, cheapness, softness, shelf life has led us down a really dangerous path, and yet we're totally okay with it somehow. This is
No, I don't think we are okay with that. I don't think he's okay with it. I don't think a lot of people are okay with it, but the masses in general don't really think about it.
I feel like here in the US, the main way to make change on things like that is to vote with your dollar.
You got to.
Companies don't care how you feel. They care about their profit. And if people stop buying it, then
This is one of those topics, not necessarily just the bread topic, but the food quality topic in general is one of, I guess, one of my favorites to look into, but also one of the things that anger me the most, because it's something that we've seen, ingredients, for example, from UK something another to the American version, and it's absolutely night and day what they allow in our food stuff here versus what's going on anywhere in Europe, honestly.
The thing that gets me the most about that is it's literally the same, like there's the same companies here in the US that are making a product for American customers that have horrible ingredients, but then that same company will in the UK or Europe or other places make it totally different without those things. Yeah. So it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, we've even seen it when it comes to, for example, U.S. versus U.K. McDonald's. And just like what's allowed in our French fries versus what's allowed in their French fries. And that's just one of a million different examples, but there's so many, not just UK, but Europe-wide of chemicals that you don't allow in your food stuff, at least from most of the European countries, I believe, versus what's allowed here in the U.S. And it is night and day. It's disgusting. And it's just, what do you do? All you can do is vote with your dollar and choose not to buy that junk the best you can. You got to look around at labels and whatnot. It's very aggravating. And it costs you more money to get the cleaner stuff here, unfortunately.
Unless you make it yourself.
But even getting things like produce that doesn't have a bunch of stuff sprayed on it versus the produce that does, you know? Anyway, I could go on and on this topic.
Why I think bread is a useful symbol for broader American culture.
Yeah, it is.
It shows us how far we are willing to go to prioritize things like cheapness and convenience over tried and true methods that have been baked into culture.
Of course, industrialized bread exists here as well. It doesn't have some of the carcinogenic ingredients that are not allowed in the EU, but it still has all of the dough conditioners, bleaches, still artificially risen, all of that. The difference is that it is rare. It is much more rare here. What is much more common is the ability to go to your local bakery and get bread that only has a few ingredients. And it's the ingredients that humans have been using for tens of thousands of years to make this staple food.
The feeling that I generally have is that this is how it should be. And then when I go elsewhere and you have other kinds of bread that last kind of bizarre amounts of time, you're like, this is not really how it should be. You get calibrated to kind of this new standard here, and it kind of ruins you.
Turns out Paris is low-key one of the most bikeable cities I've ever been in, but it used to not be like that. Like last time I was here, it was not this bikeable. I smell some urban design policy changes afoot here.
Someone tried to change this in the US a few years ago, a company called Panera.
What could be better than a visit to Panera Bread?
Tried to bring like European bread culture to the United States. And they did. They had high quality, delicious bread. What happens next is potentially the best metaphor for America.
Hello, I like money.
They got a business.
It probably was when it originally started.
Maybe, yeah. Because I always looked at Panera Bread. I don't think I ever ate there. But,
I used to eat there.
But I felt like it was probably kind of like a Subway or something. That's the impression I had.
No, a little higher scale.
No, but I'm saying.
But now.
I'm saying I always assumed that it wouldn't have been like really like they're making their bread in house and homemade and all of that. I thought it would be more mass produced. I don't know.
So they could expand, and then they got investors, and they started to expand and scale.
That's what happens.
And then they were purchased in a massive merger, and now they're planning to go public on the public stock exchanges. Like, they just became a massive corporation who does not focus on making quality artisan bread. Instead, they're now just a machine pumping out bread that kind of looks and feels like European bread, but is now done in a uniform, mass-produced, industrialized process. All in the name of scale and profit.
Wow, I have it! Canned bread!
So the question is, why does this matter? Like, am I just being a snob who's like, traditional bread is better and therefore everyone should have it and I hate America?
That was snobby. You're a snob.
No, I'm not.
Kind of, yeah. But also, it actually makes a difference in how it goes into your body. The beauty of bread always was that you could put this goop
out in the air, and bacteria would come down and start to feast on it and kind of start the digestion process. That is what natural fermentation does, is it starts to break down the wheat and make it ready to go into your body. The way that we make bread in America doesn't really leave time for this.
No, it cuts that out.
We use heat and chemicals to speed this process up, to make it rise faster, to make it rise
Baking
bigger
bread.
in an artificial, synthetic way. And so you're actually getting a much inferior product to what original bread making looks like and what it produces. Yes, it lasts longer. Yes, it tastes like chewy, pillowy, sugary heaven, but it's not bread the way that humans have been eating it for tens of thousands of years. Convenience, scale, independence, that is what we love in America. We love shelf life. We love industrialized efficiency. And to me, yeah, all that stuff is super great because it means we get to live these wonderful, prosperous, convenient lives. But I think we lose something really big when we focus on those as the priorities as opposed to quality and community and culture. Last thing I'll say here is that this is slowly changing. You have a movement in the US of people making some of the best bread in the world using the most traditional methods and ingredients. In these big cities, you have amazing bakeries doing bread that is on par with anything you could get in Europe. And that kind of blows my mind. The problem is, and my critique is that that is still so rare and specialty and really only available to people who live in big urban areas. And meanwhile, the rest of us, the most accessible bread to us is this industrial, mass-produced garbage.
Belongs in the trash!
And that is enough to make me pretty frustrated.
Wow. Very, very interesting.
He had a lot of good points.
He really did.
I will say there are certain like specialty stores. Like when we lived in North Carolina, we didn't live in a really big city, but the town we lived in had a really nice co-op local grocery store that they baked their bread fresh. And that was a good place that we could go and do that. But here, yeah, we don't have that option.
No, not at all.
And most places you don't have that option unless it's a big city.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. You know, I was thinking, I bet the price difference for good quality bread, like basically if we had the same quality bread here in the U.S., like we go to a farmer's market or get it from our local farmer, like the farmer that we buy our beef from, they make their own homemade bread. It's delicious. It's great.
But it's super expensive.
Yeah, I think it's like $8 or $9 a loaf.
Yeah.
Right? Like $8 or $9 a loaf.
For most people, that's just not
That is
affordable.
expensive,
and
right?
I get why it's that expensive because it's a process.
They're making small batches, obviously, and she's probably can only do like, I don't know, 30 batches a week or whatever it is. I don't know. And so obviously because of that small batch process, it's going to be a lot more expensive. So, we can get good quality bread. We've had good quality bread, but it's one of those things. And we can make it, but it's one of those things that is either very time intensive for Lindsay in this case, because she's the one that would be making it here, or we're going to have to be going searching for it, and it's going to be a much harder process to find. And when you do find it, it's going to be over the top expensive. Yeah. And literally I don't know, at least double, maybe even close to 3 times the price of a loaf of bread in the supermarket.
This is one thing I will say about bagged bread at the grocery store.
What?
It does make a superior PBJ.
I thought you said pillow.
I don't eat them, but Sophia does. And I've tried to get her on board with like a sourdough PBJ or
well, to be fair, a sourdough is it
just doesn't taste right.
Yeah, but you could go get a good quality, even like a good quality white bread, and that might work. If you're talking about sourdough, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's harder to find.
No, it is, absolutely.
Quality sandwich white bread.
We have this long aisle, dozens of types of bread, and it's all, for the most part, got stuff in it you don't want. Either it's over softened or it's got like even dyes sometimes in it, or artificial colors and flavors and whatever it is.
High fructose
corn syrup. And it's all sprayed with glyphosate for the most part. But I want to say that then you can go to like the bakery section where you can go get the cakes and stuff, and they'll have like these baguettes or whatever, and on the surface, you're like, from a distance, you're like, okay, this
is the homemade.
But then you turn around, look at the ingredient list.
And it is literally...
And it's literally like dozens of ingredients. It's more ingredients than what you find in the...
conditioners and all the things.
Right, it's more ingredients than what you'd find in the actual bread aisle. And it's like they're trying to trick you with the packaging and the location. And it's unfortunate that you can get good quality bread here. It's just very hard. And if you find it, it's very expensive.
I will say there is someone local that recently started doing
that's
bread.
true.
And they're actually about to open up their own bakery.
I forgot about that.
Exciting.
I just saw that the other day.
Yeah.
It'll probably be about a year because they're just starting to like
renovate the building.
But so that'll be interesting. Maybe we'll finally have a place like an actual bakery you can go to and get some good quality bread, because I've seen their ingredient list. They were making it from their house.
Yeah, he does it all himself.
And it was fine. It was just bread. It was good quality bread, right? And so maybe they'll continue that and be that small time bakery that has good quality bread. But guys, you guys are lucky. We're jealous of how your ease of access, you can just probably all over the place. And it's probably not just France. France is obviously a big one he talked about here, but I think it's probably Europe-wide.
Yeah.
And UK, I know, has the same general access to all these different good quality foods that sometimes can be a little harder to find in the U.S., unfortunately, especially if you're in smaller areas. Right. If you're in large cities, maybe it's a little bit easier. But
and clearly we enjoy this topic because we've got a lot to say.
Yeah, we do love this topic, guys. Love looking at the difference between, the foods here and the foods in, whether it's the UK or Europe-wide. The ingredients and all that stuff. So if you have any suggestions, please let us know in the comments. But I think that's it for us today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button for drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey. Until next time, peace.
Bye.